So, hi everybody. I'm Dhiren here, and with me is the beautiful Antonina Andreeva, one of the most powerful women in my group, and somebody who served as a very powerful muse and mentor for me, pulled me out of a few sticky situations, and I respect her extremely highly. Now, the reason for this interview today is she had a very interesting experience a couple of weeks ago, which is commonly known as a Kundalini Awakening. And it's not a very common occurrence. It's also feared, and it's also very powerful. So she's here to talk to us about it. So, morning, Mammy. How are you?
Good morning, and thank you for the warm welcome and the highlights. And can I say I'm delighted to do this with you because you're somebody I view in service to the feminine. I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed and that you're here and you're highlighting this topic and you serve as a placeholder and a beacon for so many women. So ever so grateful, truly from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Mammy. And when we have powerful, beautiful women like you, it's my pleasure to serve. Yeah. So to roll back a bit, you've been part of my group
Yeah.
for maybe 10 months or so now, and we've
Mm-hmm.
been these powerful creative meditations together.
Yeah.
What has your experience been of these meditations, and how's it been?
Sure. So I want to preface this with saying, it's not exactly my first rodeo. I've definitely tried different tools and modalities, and perhaps it might be a good idea to even just highlight how we met, because we know it was a fateful experience, and I'll share from my side. I remember precisely, I was on my drive from a school drop-off, and I have a roundabout here that faces a church, which there is a little sort of drive down, and that gives me a little bit time to contemplate things. And I remember, because it's happened a number of times now, this particular spot, I was talking to my higher self, my guides, whatever it is that you want to call them. And I said, listen, if you want me to do this, you better send someone in who can assist me with this, because I feel I need what I call an anchor to help me understand and perceive this field better. I can feel something in the energy, but being the feminine pole, it's rather chaotic. Like I get lost in it, in and within myself. So I would love for you to send me a powerful anchor who can hold it down for me while I swim in the energy and really unpack this for myself, so I can bring through the nuggets of wisdom. And I'm like, you better do it now. And within like days, literally days, we got randomly talking on somebody else's post, and it was an instant click. And then we continued in the DMs, and then you told me about this group that you have, where you practice your methodology. So I was like, yeah, sure. What have I got to lose? Like it felt like a good pull. It felt like a clear invitation. And that's the point where I joined. And I think within the first three, this is how I'm tracking it. Within the first three, there were like bursts of creative energy, sensuality opened up to new levels. And I was finally able to break through this stagnation that I've been experiencing for about a year and a half, where just nothing seemingly was moving. And it was really a deep feminine awakening where I was able to get in touch with my creative potency, but also just the feminine prowess. And in my case, it felt right, because I was able to ground down and explore all of these downloads or uploads that I have been receiving, but wasn't able to maintain a certain constancy with. So it really looked like an up and down, or everything was happening up there, but nothing was moving down there. So it was a little bit of chaos. So what I found with the creator meditation was that it gave a constancy and stability and a slow ascent that was needed to maintain a state of awareness where I could touch what was going up there, but also not fall back down completely. And, you know, on a physical, material plane, as I said, it looks like an awakening to one's own sensuality, sexuality, magnetism. So I was able to pull things in a lot faster with little to no effort, just by feeling into them or thinking about them or becoming aware of them. And maintaining this state, which I know you call like mild orgasmic bliss, of just buzzing off the ability to interact with that field. So that was kind of, and then we continued with the regularity. So again, what helps is, you know, you put this on regularly every week. So it's kind of like, I liken it going to the gym of sorts, so something that you do regularly and maintain, so you could always upgrade the state, but at the same time, I said the constancy, it was you're always remaining in a particular state of awareness, and you're just building onto that and opening up to it more and more. And so 10 months later, and we're going to talk about the actual Kundalini awakening in a moment, it just feels like I'm in a completely different dimension if I take, you know, my state of awareness from a year and a half ago, where things just become easily and effortlessly. People, situations are just pulled into my field, and it is my only job is to say yes or no. I sense the creative potential in projects, in connections, in anything really. And it's such a deep intuitive knowing that, again, it takes no effort whatsoever on my part. And I think it's this bit is so important for a woman. We overspend and leak our energy on lots of unimportant things, and then we wonder, you know, where's our youth gone? Where's our vitality gone? Where is our creative energy gone? And what is left at the end of it to put into things that matter to us beyond, you know, the family and whatsoever. And as I'm saying this, what I'm becoming aware of, it's a state that allows you to generate and maintain your own energy, which is the most valuable thing of all, because once you become a generator of your own energy, you do not need to rely on anything or anyone. And I think that's the bit that might be a scary thought for some women, because it's total sovereignty and independence in an energetic sense and meaning. However, it can be translated into anything else. So yeah, powerful stuff.
Well, you encapsulated it pretty well.
Thank you.
And this then led, this consistent work that you put in and the results probably led to what you felt a few weeks ago. So can you tell us how that started?
Sure, yes. And so a couple of weeks back, I could feel a build-up of frequency happening, which eventually led to an acceleration and about a 2-week upgrade, which was a process that I know now is a Kundalini awakening process, where my whole body, my chakra system, my field got upgraded to a completely new level. Now, again, I want to preface this as somebody who works with their own modality that they actually help co-create and that's sacred DNA methodology, and is fairly well aware of the energetic world and how it works. I have to say, and have had upgrades before. This one was probably in the top 3, if not the top 3. So my world, my self-awareness, my frequency had completely shifted, my chakra system got upgraded, my sort of gifts of perception have expanded exponentially, my magnetism has increased by 10x at the very least. I was able to tap into plane of existence that I perceived or perhaps read about. I definitely had visceral sensation of the Kundalini climbing up my spine and opening up, as a kind of like the cobra had. Yeah, so that's something that, again, we read in sacred texts, with like pharaohs, you know, that the hat that they wear. So it was a strong, powerful process. And here I want to express my gratitude, appreciation to you in particular, because you really held it throughout. You were, you know, available to answer any queries or just listen out, for while I was deep in the process. And this is so important, to have a knowledgeable guide who can guide you through the process, because it's easy to get lost in the illusion of the energetic rope. So you do need like an anchor to hold you throughout. And yeah, you did your job formidably. I'm ever so grateful. So 1-1, we're good.
Thank you. Was the process itself scary or distressing in any way? And how long did it take?
Well, I'd say mine overall, it took about what, around 2 weeks
A little over
of,
2 weeks, I guess.
yeah, around 2 weeks, and about 2 weeks of integration. So being on the other side of it is, the mind perceives it as scary, but the mind perceives anything that is unknown and anything that's outside of our perception as scary. Like, it is a well-known fact that mind resists change, because the you know, it's designed to keep us safe, and sometimes it labels safeness as self-awareness, right? And in a way, we don't realize how much it is small and limited it's keeping us in doing its job of keeping us safe. So you definitely go to the edge of your psyche, and that can be unsettling, again, if you haven't got the right system of support around you, because you want to be checking and rechecking yourself. How present am I in my body? How well supported I am in, you know, my day-to-day? Where am I giving my power away to unnecessary things? Where am I being unconscious? So in that respect, yeah, sometimes it was unsettling. Could I have done it differently? I don't know. I think it happens when it happens, and you just roll with it. But at that time, yeah, I wish I could have, you know, taken down some of my day-to-day responsibility. But on the other hand, that's what kept me present and lucid and aware. So was it scary? It was unsettling. The mind tried to interpret it as scary. But when I would check in with yourself or others, it would be, I would then recognize that, okay, that's just part of the process, because sometimes facing your fears and facing the fear, pardon me, of the unknown can be scary. But on the other hand, or on the other side of it, fear is just false evidence appearing real, right?
One last question, Antonina. You know, obviously, I'm a male figure, and many women watching this might wonder, is it safe working with a man?
Yeah.
What are the advantages of working with a man? Because there's so many women out there doing similar things.
Yeah.
So what is your take on that?
Okay, I'm going to take it
Both ways.
back a little bit. So as somebody who has worked with the feminine for a fair amount of years now, I have to say the last sort of, again, year and a half, I've been pulled towards communicating, collaborating with men in general. And that's just a very logical thing. There are things that a man can offer that a woman can't, and vice versa. Now, to answer your question, is it safe? We would have to look at a wider perspective. A, what is safety? And B, where do we get the idea that it's not safe? Like, what conditioning is in place here? I am a true fan of the masculine. I believe they're beautiful, benevolent, wonderful men out there and in here in this conversation right now who are simply wanting and willing to offer their best. And this has been proven to me over and over again. I don't know if that's something that I created in my head and that's how I generate my reality, or however you want to look at it. But for me, that's a fact. As it is the fact that, as I said, there are things that are offered by the masculine that are just not offered by the feminine, not because it's good or bad, it's just because we're different. So again, in this particular awakening, I was able to reach out to you and other men that I knew and trusted, and I do not think I could have done it without them. So I do not subscribe to the idea of unsafe men. I certainly have encountered them in my life, but again, is this truth or is it conditioning? We are, micro to macro. So I think, I believe, and even more shown through this journey, that we're just stuffed full of BS ideas of what it is and what it isn't. And I truly believe that, the way forward is collaboration, is bringing down those limiters and frequency fences and blocks and beliefs that we have about each other, and coming into a union. And a union can look a number of different things, right? It could be a friendship, it could be a partnership, it could be an exchange of words. Sometimes I extract wisdom and humility and grace and love and beauty from just a simple exchange. And I truly wish this upon everyone, because the separation isn't serving men or isn't serving women. So safety, there was plenty.
Thank you, Antonina. This is very informative, and I hope anyone watching and intending to know more about Kundalini Awakening and the process and the benefits would get a lot of information from this talk.
Beautiful. I truly hope so. And I can highly recommend Dhiren's free group, where he runs creative meditation on a weekly basis, to get the taster of the potency of his work, which combines the quantum field and the Kundalini meditation. So you get the best of both worlds.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonina.